A very good evening to all the fellow Toastmasters and my esteemed guests.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Firstly, I would want to apologize to all the members for the cancellation of joint meeting due to unavoidable circumstances. Secondly, I have to mention that during Shiva's term as VPPR, with DJ K Prabhakara sir's guidance, he started off putting the speeches as articles, and it's extremely heartwarming to see the practice has been continued by Toastmaster Sindhushri as well. Even though it was delayed this time, but they have done a wonderful job. Let us give a thorough round of applause to Toastmaster Sindhushri and the editorial team. And the next update on behalf of VP Toastmaster Shiva, the following roles have been booked for the next week. 3 speech slots have been booked by Toastmaster Chetan, Toastmaster Sharanye, and Toastmaster Latha. Apart from it, all other roles are open. I request kindly to contact Toastmaster Shiva for taking up the roles next week. Lastly, our club and the individual members have won the following awards. Our club has won the Spirit of 121 award. Our members, Toastmaster Supreet and DTM Shushma, have received long-standing Toastmasters award, and our very own DTM Udanka has received Outstanding Toastmasters award. So let us give them a huge round of applause. With this, now the sergeant can take over.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I welcome you all to meeting number 1263 with the theme, Take the High Road. Take the high road means, in a literal sense, means taking the path which may not be popular with it, but which is right on its own. In short, it means righteousness. There are a lot of, for example, if someone has wronged you, there are 2 ways to go. You can either take the low path of taking a revenge or talking ill against that person or keeping that in your mind for a longer time. Or you can take a high road. How do you take the high road? You either take the high road by ignoring it or forgetting it, which is a very, very difficult one. Some specific examples of taking the high road include responding with kindness and understanding instead of reacting with anger or hostility when someone treats you poorly. That's called empathizing. You put yourself in that person's shoes and understand why that action was from that particular person. Now, choosing to forgive someone who has done you wrong rather than seeking revenge or holding into resentment. Now, when you do this particular thing, it's like you are giving charge of your brain to the other person. It's better to take the high road in the way of forget, forgive, move on. Remaining calm and composed in a conflict or argument, even if the party is being aggressive or confrontational. These we see a lot of time when we are trying to maintain our composure somewhere, but the person other side is very aggressive. It's a very difficult situation in that time to take the high road. It's usually we start taking the lower roads over there. But that is the time, how do we maintain our composure? How do we take the high road, maintain calm? It's always better to respond than react. React is a more of a negative term and response is more of a positive one, which gives you control over yourself. So always try responding than reacting. Refusing to engage in gossip or spreading rumors about someone. Usually when someone comes and tells to us that, okay, Mr. X is speaking so and so about you. You don't know whether the source from what it's come is true or no. What you do in action, for every action there's equal and opposite reaction. So how do you do it? You give a reaction by spreading more gossip about that person. That is the thing of taking a low road. So instead of taking that, just ignore it or try to confirm the sources who told what. Confront. When it is confront, not if a more negative, go and talk, communicate with the person so that it clears out the air. It's always easier to tell not to take the high road, not to take the lower road, but it takes a lot of determination for you to take the higher road. On this note, I would like to introduce a person who always believes in taking the high road. He's a BCom graduate pursuing his MBA from Christ University. His hobbies include playing badminton, chess, tennis. He's a very good dancer and he's more interested in Western dancing, NLP certified trainer and a yoga instructor. And whose zeal and commitment for Mekong Communication Club is very high. So with a huge thunder round of applause, I would like you to welcome the president of Mekong Communication Club, Toastmaster Ujwal.
A very good evening to all the fellow Toastmasters and my esteemed guests. I can see two guests in the meeting room. Can you please introduce about yourself and let us know how you got to know about our club?
I'm Shreya. Actually, I came last week also as a guest, and this time also I'm coming again how to look how it works and all. Once I used to it, then I'm thinking to join.
Thank you.
Good evening to all our present here. I am Ishita, pursuing my third year BTech from NIT Surat. I'm doing my internship training in Macon. So I got to know about Toastmasters to my father, so I just wanted to check it out. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome to our club. Now can I have the minutes of the meeting read out by our Secretary Toastmaster Mehjabin?
Thank you so much, President. Here are the minutes of the meeting number 1262 held on 6th of May 2024. Theme: Sharpen Your Knives. Word of the week: Robust. The business session started at 6:16 p.m. and was chaired by Acting President Toastmaster Shiva. In the business session, the Acting President announced that the Mekon Communication Club has achieved Hall of Fame Silver Award for the program year 2023 to 2024 in District 121 Toastmaster International. There will be a joint meeting with the Uthishta Toastmaster Club on May 11th at our school auditorium at 5:30 p.m. All members are requested to attend the meeting. The dress code will be the formal. The day trip to Rocksport on June 2nd extended a warm invitation to all current members. The event will run from 9:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. The cost of participation will 900 per person. Vice President of Education Toastmaster Shiva announced that for the next meeting, 3 speaking slots and counter roles have been reserved, while all other roles are open. Interested members were asked to contact him for more information. The regular meeting started at 6:22 p.m. Sajana Ram's Toastmaster Latha started the meeting with an introduction about the theme and later handed over the charge to Acting President Toastmaster Shiva. Acting President Toastmaster Shiva opened the meeting, spoke on the theme and introduced the Master of Ceremony Toastmaster Chetan. Master of Ceremonies spoke on the theme and introduced the role makers for the day. Timer Toastmaster Shreya, Accountant Toastmaster Gaurav, Grammarian Toastmaster DTM Evaluator, PP Evaluator Toastmaster Akshay. The prepared speech session had 3 speakers. Speaker number 1 Toastmaster Shubha was attempting level 1 project 1. Speaker 2 Toastmaster Anirudh was attempting level 1 project 1. Speaker 3 Toastmaster Mamata was attempting level 2 project 1. The evaluators were Toastmaster Pavni, Toastmaster Sharanye and Toastmaster Apoorva. Toastmaster Jyothi conducted the table topic session with 9 speakers in total. DTM Udanka conducted the general evaluation. The winners of the week were Best Prepared Speaker Toastmaster Anirudh, Best Evaluator Toastmaster Sharanye, Best Table Topic Speaker DTM K Prabhakara, Best Tour Taker TAPG DTM Evaluator, Best Tour Taker MTG Toastmaster Chetan. Acting President Toastmaster Shiva closed the meeting at 8:21 p.m. followed by National Anthem. Thank you and back to the President.
We have 2 more guests in the meeting room. Can you please introduce about yourself and let us know how we got to know about our club?
Yeah, my name is Krishna Kumar. I am an ex-Mekon Toastmaster. So a couple of years back. So I'm an IT professional. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Nishchal K. Chinnappa, studying in Veerabhadrappa curriculum, 2nd PUC.
Thank you. Welcome to our club. Are there any amendments for the MOM? If not, I shall consider it as accepted and open meeting number 1263. Have you ever found yourself in any argument with the loved ones? Whether it is with your parents or with your spouse, it's a common experience for most of us, right? let me tell you all a little about my own family. As many of you know, my father is naturally a cheerful and jovial person who is always ready with a joke or a smile. But when it comes with the interactions with me, it's a never-ending story. On the other hand, my mother, who is loving and caring, but also have a little short temper, where she can go from calm to boiling in a time it takes to make a 2 minutes rasam. So now you can imagine with my father's jovial behavior and my mother's quick short temper, they are bound with a clash of time to time arguments. But sometimes even my father and I feel that we have caught up in a loop of arguments from day till night. At that moment, but then yeah, like as all of you know, every day is not Sunday, right? When once in a while, when arguments reach the boiling point, there's a lot of exchange of words, tone, and emotion. At that moment, I learned and noticed something remarkable. My father, instead of taking that argument a little further, he chose to take the high road. He chose to step back, take a moment, giving himself and my mother some time and space for the situation to get it better. He could have taken it very different way. He could have taken it very much differently. He could have handled the situation very much better. But here, at that moment, it's not about who is winning or who is losing, right? It is all about how we handle the situation, how we can get it better at that point. And yes, of course, conflicts come and go, but there are also a lot of moments of happiness, like when my father plans a surprise trip, or when my mother shares stories from her childhood. These things help me to understand that family isn't always about disagreements. It is a mixture of love, laughter, argument, and understanding, which altogether keeps us together forever. Moving forward, during that heated arguments, when our emotions are at peak and words are sharp, it is very easy where our tongues will slip, and then we tend to say words which we'll regret later. But when my father took the high road, I learned that it reminded me that there is always a better way to handle the situation. By choosing to pause and to respond with kindness, we can save that particular situation. They have come a very long way and successfully completed 24 years of togetherness and many more to go. Their example reminds me that relationship is not defined as an absence of conflict. It is how we handle those conflicts with understanding. So, my dear fellow Toastmasters, a small action where you can take when you return back home is that you can express the gratitude towards your parents or with your loved ones, give them a warm hug, and don't forget to take the high road next time when you are stuck in the crossroad with your loved ones. Always choose to take a road which gives you peace, because the journey at the end is all worth it. Speaking of journeys, I want to highlight an incredible journey, or I would say an incredible path of an individual who has seen many crossroads in his life. He currently stands out as a CEO of Logos Business Systems, India Private Limited, which is a company basically into end-to-end IT infrastructure services. Out of his work life, his hobbies are music and traveling. His ambition is to elevate his loggers business to a prominent corporate business. So, and I sincerely hope he will achieve his dream into reality. So, with this, please help me welcome the Master of Ceremonies for the day, Toastmaster Prashanth, with a thunderous round of applause.
Good evening, Toastmasters, and welcome guests.
Good evening.
Business advisor John Canife says, the best part of taking the high road is there is no traffic. As leaders at work, we are at the intersection of complex decisions, high stakes, and diverse personalities. The way you react to the situation either will elevate you as a leader or tarnish. Taking the high road, it doesn't mean that you need to be ignoring the slights or swallowing your pride. Today's rival can be tomorrow's ally. If you react impulsively, the relationship will sever. If you react maturely, in fact, you will grow as a leader. To help us in this journey of high road, to help us to lead gracefully with lot of zeal and wisdom, Ralph C. Smedley in the year 1924 started this Toastmaster movement. Started with just one club with few members. Today, it has more than 290,000 members with 14,200 clubs in 148 countries. To run this meeting, I have few role takers called TAPG. I'll ask the role takers to give a brief about their role as I call upon them. To start with, today's accounter Toastmaster Akshay.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As the
You can change.
As the accounter of today's meeting, I'll be keeping count of the crutch words and words used as pause fillers, such as and er. And I'll also keep count of the repetitive words such as and, so, etc. I'll give my report at the end. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Akshay. This timer, Toastmaster Pavani.
A very good evening, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. The theme for today encourages to choose kindness, but as the timer for today, I cannot take the high road since we have the time deterrence. So I encourage the speakers to stick to the time allotted, and I will make sure to take note of the time taken by every speaker and give the detailed report during general evaluation. Firstly, coming to the prepared speech session, for the first two speeches, the time allotted is 4 to 6 minutes. At 4 minutes, I'll be showing the green card. At 6 minutes, 5 minutes, I'll be showing the yellow card, and at 6 minutes, I'll be showing the red card. For the last speaker, the time allotted is 5 to 7 minutes. At 5 minutes, I'll be showing the green card. At 6 minutes, I'll be showing the yellow card. And at 7 minutes, I'll be showing the red card. For the table topic speakers, the time allotted is 1 to 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I'll be showing the green card. At 1 minute 30 seconds, I'll be showing the yellow card. And at 2 minutes, I'll be showing the red card. For the individual evaluators, the time allotted is 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I'll be showing the green card. At 2 minutes 30 seconds, I'll be showing the yellow card. And at 3 minutes, I'll be showing the red card. And note for all the prepared speakers, table topic speakers, and individual evaluators to stick to the time allotted, and there will be a grace period of 30 seconds. With, if you go beyond that time limit, you will be not eligible for a ribbon at the end. So that's it from my end. Back to the MC.
Thank you, We have grammarian Toastmaster Anirudh.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As the grammarian, it is my duty to pay close attention to the language that is being used today in the meeting. I'll take note of any good usages, any words, quotes, and also I'll take note of the number of times the speakers use the word of the day, which is zeal. As you can see here, the meaning is that great energy or enthusiasm in pursuit of a cause or an objective. And the usage is that the zeal shown by the first time speaker to the room by storm. So please use the word of the day, and I'll give my report at the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster. We have PP Evaluator Toastmaster Shubha.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests present. I'm the Parliamentary Procedure Evaluator for today. Everyone in this room is a listener, and these are few things to keep in mind. Put your phones on silent mode. Avoid crosstalks and enter and exit the room only during applause. And for the speakers, please avoid topics on sex, religion and politics. I will be overseeing these aspects during the meeting. Stay tuned for the evaluation, the third session.
Thank you. So for the benefit of new members and guests, let me explain the pattern of our meeting. We have 3 sessions starting with prepared speech session, table topic session and evaluation session. So prepared speech session, a speaker will pick a topic and will give a speech based on the guidelines in the manual. That is, the duration would be 5 to 7 minutes. The second is, table topic session, wherein, the speakers will be randomly picked and given a topic. So they are supposed to speak on the topic for 1 to 2 minutes. And the third session is the evaluation session, wherein the entire proceedings of the meeting is evaluated. So now let's begin with our first session, that is the prepared speech session. So the first speaker is attempting level 1 project 1, which is the icebreaker. I request the individual evaluator, Toastmaster Raja, to provide the guidelines.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. The purpose of this project is for the member to introduce herself to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. Notes for the evaluator: the member is completing her first speech in Toastmaster. The goal of the evaluation is to give the member an effective evaluation of her speech and delivery style. Because the icebreaker is the first project a member completes, you may choose to use only the notes section and not the numerical score. I'll be giving my report when called upon.
Thank you. Please put your hands together and welcome Toastmaster Vaishnavi.
Very good evening to my fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. Frozen jokes and warm welcomes. Welcome to the Icebreaker episode of today. This is Vaishnavi Chavli, and I am known to be the girl who sings the national anthem at the end of every session way too loudly. So I have known myself pretty well over the last 23 years, and let me tell you, I am like the human form of an extremely talkative emoji. Legend says I've been talking non-stop since the 8th of December 2000. That's when I was born. So much so that all the doctors around the maternity ward got a headache, and my dad had to spend an extra thousands of rupees for their medication as well. I'm the queen of chaos. From hitting myself to a wall, to mistaking sugar for salt, and tripping over myself 100 times a day. I can bet you I keep everybody around me on their toes, literally, throughout the day. Now let's delve into my world a little bit, shall we? Picture this. It's a typical morning, the birds are chirping, the sun is rising, and I'm probably out for a run. You see, a day in my house doesn't begin without us listening to my mom hum to the tunes of Suprabhatam in the morning. Kausalya Supraja Rama Purva Sandhya Pravartate Uttishtan Narasardula Kartavyam Daiva Marvikam. This is the Suprabhatam that my mom hums every morning, and we wake up to this. So, this is the quintessential South Indian wake-up call that is more potent than any alarm clock in the entire world. I mean, apart from the smell of the freshly brewed filter coffee. Now, I come from a family of chartered accountants. In the world of academia, I'm like a kid in a candy store, except that my textbooks are the candies, because in reality, all the actual candies are eaten by my sister. So, I studied in Kumarins from grade 1 to grade 12 and stood at the top of my class all through these 12 years. And then what happened? Then I took up chartered accountancy. As a CA student, I have to have a very delicate balance between number crunching and the existential crisis that occasionally hits your face. Now, I have been a classical vocalist almost all my life. I began singing when I was 4 years old, when my mom took me by the hand and put me in the hands of a music teacher. That was back in 2004. So I've continued singing, it's grown into my passion today. And when I'm not engaging my audience with my vocal acrobatics, you can bet I'm outdoors trying to conquer mountains. Because be it gazing at vistas or swapping stories around campfires, there is something truly magical about Mother Nature. 23 years after my birth, my dad walked into my room, his hand on his head. He comes to me. He says, Vaishnavi, if you have decided to not stop talking, at least put it to some use. That's when I realized maybe Toastmasters Club was the right place for me. Not because I knew how to talk, but because I loved it. So I joined Toastmasters Club with utmost zeal. Pen is mightier than the sword. This is something we have grown up listening to, and this is something I have firmly believed from the bottom of my heart since the day one that I got to know that a quote like this exists. Following such a quote, I work with a number of NGOs internationally as a content writer. I believe writing content for such NGOs will help me reach millions of people out there. In those millions, if I'm able to make an impact to at least 10 or 20 people, my life's purpose is served. May my melodies be as infectious as your laughter. May my performances be as unforgettable as the chaos I carry around me. And may all my audience leave with a smile on their face and a song in their hearts. Thank you so much.
Now, the second speaker also is attempting level 1, project 1. I request, since it's the same speech project, so we will avoid the guidelines. The first speech guidelines remain as it is. So please put your hands together and welcome Toastmaster Nagendra.
Good evening to all my fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. I am thrilled to be here today in front of such diverse individuals. My name is Nagendra and I am pursuing an MBA from Christ University, Bangalore, and you're soon to be a favorite conversation starter. It was during the month of November back in 2001 when the world celebrated Diwali. A good news broke out amidst the festive morning that my parents were blessed with a baby boy, and that was me. Our family joyously celebrated my arrival as it doubled their happiness. Now let me give an introduction about my family. My father, Chandrasekhar, is a businessman. He runs a shop in Bangalore. And my mother, Sharada, is a homemaker. Wait, it doesn't end here. I live in a joint family with 3 uncles, 3 aunts and 4 cousins, before with my grandparents. As I grew up as the first kid in the family, obviously everyone's favorite and the pampered one. I did my schooling from BP Indian Public School till my 10th grade. After that, after the 10th results were out, I was very clear and sure that science was not my cup of tea. Then, I finally took up commerce and joined Diksha Vijayanagar for my PUC. Till then, I didn't have any favorite subject as such. But then I started liking one, and that was accountancy. After completing my PUC, then I started searching for BCom colleges. I joined MES College of Arts, Commerce and Science in Malleshwaram, Bangalore. With this, I took up CA foundation course. Studied hard day and night, went to coaching classes, and then gave an attempt. And I scored 190 out of 400, where 200 was a minimum cutoff. That wasn't enough. Then, with the same zeal, with the same spirit, I again gave another attempt. And can you guess what was my marks that time during my second attempt? How much had I got? Anyone?
201.
200.
195.
190.
199.
190 again. Same marks. So I was literally broken. My parents and family advised me not to sail in 2 boats at the same time, that is CA and BCom, and asked me to complete BCom first and then peacefully complete BCom and then think about my future. By this time, I completed my second year. Trust me, then started the best period. I started my third year by actively participating in Inter-Collegiate Fest by representing my college. With this, I also organized an intra-collegiate fest which helped me make a good network with industry experts, alumni, peers from other colleges, faculties, and many more. And the best thing was I made very good friends then during my third year, and we made lots of memories. Not only this, by the time I completed my third year, for my contribution towards Intercollegiate Fest, representing my college, and things like that, I was awarded the best outgoing student for the year 2022. Now, I am currently pursuing an MBA in Finance from Christ University. The interest towards accountancy and stock market made me take up finance as my core specialization. The same interest towards the extracurricular activities made me join a club in our college called COSBMA, and now I'm one of the core committee members there. Now coming to why I joined Toastmasters was, when I communicate, whether I'm presenting or speaking, I want to ensure that the audience grasps my message clearly and precise. And also I have this issue of stammering when I'm presenting in front of the crowd. Thank you for allowing me to introduce myself, and I can't wait to start this journey with all of you. Thank you.
The third speaker is attempting now elective project presentation mastery titled Design Your Passion. I request the individual evaluator, Toastmaster Ravikumar, to provide the guidelines.
Can I do it from here?
Be patient.
Thank you. The purpose of the state.
So, can I interrupt, sir? It starts at 6:15, and I think we don't have seat. Is there any more seat here? So, if you don't mind, we can stand in the corner for next 1 hour. Otherwise, there is no seat, sir. Udanka, check whether there are 2 seats in that place. Oh, it's there, is it? Yeah. Yeah, please. What about you, sir? No, it's okay. So we'll find a seat for you. Udanka, check. There's a seat. No, we should be telling them. Director helps us.
Thank you. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice the skills needed to present himself or herself well in an interview. The member completing this project has spent time organizing his or her skills and identify how those skills can be applied to complete this role-play interview. About the speech, the member designed interview questions for the interviewer that are specific to their skills, abilities, and any other content he or she wants to practice. Though the member designed questions, he or she does not know exactly which questions will be asked. Look for poise, concise answers to questions and the ability to recover from ineffective answers. Speech title as told by you, Design Your Passion. I wish all the best for my speaker.
Thank you. This speaker is a BCom and an interior design graduate. She is a very adventurous person. She has participated in many treks and she has a lot of passion to play badminton, basketball and many other sports activities. Please put your hands together and welcome Toastmaster Apoorva.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. This project requires me to be interviewed by a fellow Toastmaster. So today, Toastmaster Latha is going to play the role of an HR manager recruitment in design architects. I request her to conduct the interview. Hi Apoorva, welcome. Good evening. Good evening. So you're ready? Yes. Let me shoot my first question. Okay, so I'm just going to randomly ask questions to you. Okay. How do you approach a design? I first meet the client in person, fix a consultation. I start to understand them, look to what they are looking out of the space. What is their occupation or business? How do they spend their day, their lifestyle? Then I try to understand them. Then prepare a mood board, explaining about the concept, what I have for the space, okay, with all the material, samples of materials and few reference images and the colors. Then show them the mood board, explain to them. Then once that stage is completed, then prepare a floor plan, show it to them. Then goes the execution part. Once it's executed, project will be completed. I would give them more number of options so that it will be easier for them and also keep them updated about the process.
So it's the way you're detailing, you have told me it looks like you're very experienced in all that. I'm very happy with the answer. Now my next question will be, what is the most important thing to remember while designing a space?
So the most important thing while designing the space is the functionality of the space. The space can be aesthetically beautiful, but if the purpose is not served, then there is no point. So there should be a fine balance between the design and the functionality of the space, because when space is created, it is used by the client on a daily basis. It's very important to have the balance.
So what you want to tell, if we have a proper balance, then the space, if how good looking it is, but if not utilized properly, then it won't give that look what we desire.
Say imagine there's a TV unit or a storage space in the corner where you're not able to access it. So aesthetically it's beautiful, but if the client is not able to access it easily, is struggling on a daily basis, then there's no point. So aesthetically beautiful is very important, but the most important thing is the functionality of the space.
So you mean utility of it?
Yes.
Okay. My next question would be, what is your favorite design style?
So I am more inclined towards using contemporary style of design, where I use more neutral colors, clear lines, clear lines, minimalistic furniture, then a statement piece, say like if you are designing a living space with all neutral colors, just add a little pop of color, say like a mural piece or cushions which add color to it. Okay, but but while designing, it's the most important thing to keep in mind is the client's need and personality. Since it's going to be is space and the space is going to define it, it is always better to have a mixed, open-minded approach when it comes to design. Is what I feel.
So what you want to tell is, when you're designing any space, your client requirements, client personality is the most important requirement over here. Okay. Okay. What is the most challenging incident that occurred while handling a project?
There was this one project where I was handling a residential project. Site was around 40-60. When I went, when they had a huge courtyard out space in front of the house, which was almost the work completed was almost in progress, and 50% of the work was almost in 50 to 60%. And that's when the client comes to me and says that there is a change of plan. He wanted a fireplace and a grill machine and a sit out all in between. So we had to pull it out and rework on the entire design, prepare new plans, keeping in mind the budget and the timeline. We couldn't go overboard. So that was a huge struggle. But still, we successfully completed it, and the client was really happy with the outcome.
Very happy with the answer. It seems like a very experienced, very detailed oriented. Now, okay, if I give you this space over here, so what do you think improvements can be done wherein we can use this space in a more maximum level, and the aesthetics and all looks really good, and utility wise also it's really good.
Since this is more like a formal professional space, first should be the seating arrangement. We could make it in a more organized manner. Since it's a little haphazard here and there, it needs to be more in an organized manner. Then we could change the color to add a little more vibrant finish, and some wood paneling would make it look very professional.
Okay. So, how do you think, were you nervous before the interview?
Yeah, little.
That's a good sign actually. You should always be nervous before interview. It's a good sign. So what are you looking forward when you want to join this company? Why you are joining this company?
Your company is one of the most prestigious company in the whole of Bangalore. You've got projects you've worked on is an inspiration to me. I look up to the way you plan your projects. There was this one project where you designed was a residential building. The site was on an inclined plane, and I like the way you used natural lighting, go for natural materials, and the ventilation, cross ventilation you provide, and also the way you plan your projects. Even though the project was the site size was uneven, you make maximum utilization of the space without any wastage. At the same time, aesthetically it was remarkable.
Okay, if I tell you to rate yourself out of 10, 1 being the worst and 10 being the best, as an interior designer, with your experience and with the detailed explanation and knowledge what you carry, how much would you rate yourself?
I would want to rate myself as the best. I always give my 100%. I work with zeal. I take the high road. I give my 100%. So I would want to rate myself as the best. But there's always scope for improvement and growth. I want to work in a company where I can grow and learn through the process.
So I think I've pretty much got all the answers what a requirement, and my team will get back to you soon. Thank you. Really nice one. Thank you.
We have come to the end of an interesting speech session. We will move on to the second session, that is the table topic session. To conduct this, we have a very interesting Toastmaster. He is a BCom graduate. He is currently consulting, in estate planning. I find his speeches very interesting because he kind of makes complex subjects and he renders to the audience in a very simple way. And his speeches are very thought-provoking. His hobbies are, he is into meditation, reading books and listening to music. Please put your hands together and welcome Toastmaster Vijay Upendra.
Thank you, MC. Good evening, Toastmasters. Welcome guests.
Good evening.
Table topic session. It's always felt that butterflies are there. We experienced Toastmasters should not have that. Having said that, straight I'll get into the topics because we need to save the time. Confidence is more important than perfection. Confidence is more important than perfection goes to Toastmaster Shreya.
Thank you, Table Topics Master, and good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Confidence is better than perfection. I think obviously it's true because first of all, no one can be perfect in the first place. So why not be confident instead? And I think like a recent experience that I had was this weekend. I went to a 24-hour hackathon, and basically a hackathon is where you go to a place. It's held by a company. They usually give you 2 or 3 problem statements, and you have to develop a website or an app or some kind of platform that serves like a solution to that problem. And as like going into college, I didn't really know a lot, and now also like I don't know as much as a lot of my peers do. But still, my friends and I decided that we'd register and go and try something because it's a new experience to have, right? And we went there at like 9 in the morning. We finished our registration and everything. We went and we sat, and there are people already working on their projects. And a thing happened where 2 of my teammates actually couldn't come because one of them got dengue. So he was at home and his roommate was there helping him. And so then it was just me and my friend, and we didn't know enough to completely develop an entire website or an entire app. But still, the important thing I think is that we still tried. Like, we didn't give up. We still tried. We watched videos on YouTube, we read tutorials from the web. We tried building something. In the end, it didn't work, so we couldn't end up submitting anything. But I am proud of the fact that we did, like, we didn't just leave there. We went and we still tried building something, but even though we failed, I still had a good experience. And I think in that sense, confidence matters a lot. Like, I wasn't perfect, I didn't know everything, but I still had the guts to go and try to do something. And I think in the long run, that matters more than being perfect. So yeah, I think confidence still matters.
A very confident response to that. Next topic is quantity fills, quality fulfills. I repeat, quantity fills, quality fulfills. Goes to Toastmaster Arundas.
Thank you, Table Topic Master. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Welcome, guest.
Quantity fills, quality fulfills.
Obviously, the statement itself explains a lot, but I'm not sure what to connect and explain during this.
You are from the field of finance. You can answer that easily.
Obviously, okay, so let it that way. So we all, whenever we have a requirement, what we do is we basically float a tender. We float a tender, people code for the project, and obviously whoever code the best get the project. So many times what happens is people go by the L1, the lowest bid, whomever with the lowest, they get the contract. Right? So I have seen many a time where I have participated in the bid where I have floated a tender. Many a time, price alone cannot be a factor. Okay, so you also have to look at the quality of the project. So you have to look at the previous tender that the participant had done, what was the output of it, and what has been the result. And we also have to look at the various factors. And there are very few people who bid for the tender look into these aspects. Unfortunately, many of the government projects, they go by the L1 contract. So if we go back and look at the history, if when the Shah Jahan, when he built Taj Mahal, if he would have gone and looked at only the L1 contract and given the tender to the person, I'm sure it wouldn't have been the seventh wonder of the world. With this, I conclude my talk. Thank you.
The next topic is silence is the best response to a fool. Silence is the best response to a fool. Goes to Toastmaster Veerabhadrappa.
Indeed, very good subject by Toastmaster, my friend Toastmasters given. Good evening to all the Toastmasters present here. Silence is the best thing. When do you think the silence is the best thing if you are a married person? When do you think, my dear Toastmasters? I need answers from you so that I can justify that what you are doing is correct. So silence is the best thing. I have come across many things in my life. Earlier, I used to, whenever she reacts, I used to counter-react. Do you think things will work if you are diametrically opposite? It will not work. What will happen? Peace, rest, comfort, and all will vanish from there. Even the children will feel bad of it. From that day, I decided, even now I am practicing in my house, silence is the best thing. Whatever he says, yes, ma'am, I will do it. Yes, madam, I will do it. Because generally, the thinking of a man and woman are diametrically opposite. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
So, in that case, be silent. Things will be very happy. And if you want to take your wife in your way, give her some time and tell her logically and wait for some time and things will work. Recently, I want to give a very big house to a rent. The tenant came and said, I will give you 25 rupees. That guy was a Marwadi and he took out some money and kept it. Said, uncle, you take this to 25,000 and fell to my feet. When he fell to my feet, I became a prey for her. Whereas my wife was totally disagreeing for that. Such a beautiful house you are giving for a less rent. I am not agreeing for that. What I did for 2 times and one more tenant came. Even though he asked more, I told my wife, he is asking only less. That tenant is far better than, because I want to keep up my word. I want to prove my honesty and integrity. My dear friends, be silent. Whenever there is this thing, be silent. And thank you very much.
Very practical experience here. The next topic is amplitude and frequency of sound is important in public speaking. Amplitude and frequency of sound is important in public speaking. Goes to DTM U Bhat.
Mr. Table Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. Amplitude and frequency. I think there are more chartered accountants here than the students of physics, as I can understand. So let me clarify what is amplitude and what is frequency. A sound has got 3 qualities: amplitude, frequency, and what's called timbre. Your Vaishnavi is a musician herself, she should understand better. Frequency relates to pitch. Frequency of middle sa is 256 cycles per second. The next sa on the third will be 550, double of that. So there is a frequency. When a person talks in a high frequency, when you speak on the high pitch, that's called a high frequency. And when it's the amplitude is the volume. In a sinusoid, I don't know, for a science teacher, a sinusoidal wave,
The number of cycles per second is the frequency, and the height of the and the depth of the curve is called your amplitude. Amplitude, this was loudness. Now, how that is important and applicable to Toastmasters is very, very important. When we say using the right, your voice modulation, what is at certain things in when you are explaining, you should tell in a very high frequency. You are explaining something, someone, why did you go like that? You go to the high frequency. The loudness, when what happens is when you say, I was just deciding that the frequency is low, but loudness is high. So there is a subtle difference between frequency and loudness. We need to understand this distinction, and when we implement this in our speeches will become that much more effective. So to convey our ideas and thoughts, and particularly in storytelling sessions, it's very interesting and very necessary that we should master this distinction between frequency and your loudness, and decide appropriately which frequency to use where, and where you should be loud, where should be slow, and where should be of high frequency, where should be the lower frequency. That will enhance the effectiveness of the speech.
Technicality simplified very well. Thank you, sir. The next topic is, your beliefs don't make you a better person. Your behavior does. Your beliefs don't make you a better person. Your behavior does. Goes to TTM Udanka.
When I started my journey as a PR and we started this initiative called Toasters Centenary, it was a 100 days challenge where I had to post different posters. And I believe myself that Toastmaster members are generous enough and they will help me out, and they will send me the content, whatever it was required on time. And that was the belief I started off with. Later when I started working on, I understood that belief is there, but we'll have to follow up and we'll have to act immediately, and that's how we behave. So when I sent out a first initial message and a kind message later on, and third reminder in a kind way, and that's how I behaved myself, and that's when it actually helped me out, and now you can see all the beautiful result there. So what I understood in this particular initiative is that definitely you believe in yourself, that will, because before you start any simple task, first thing is required is your belief in yourself. That is totally required. Then what is that you require after that is what comes. Everyone says believe in yourself, you'll achieve. Definitely you will. But is it the only thing which will help you to the success? Definitely not. You'll have to go forward, take the actions, take the kind actions for some requires, take the crucial actions if required, and follow your path and the procedure you're planning for. You will find results back.
You correlated very well between belief and behavior. Thank you. The next topic is, the truth you resist or the battles you fight. The truth you resist or the battles you fight goes to Toastmaster Chetan.
In the 1930s, 1940s, Hitler had a vision. He wanted to conquer Russia. And he put all his soldiers into that fight. It was a rather disturbing battle that happened all the way back in 1942, when Hitler issued the orders that we're going to go to Moscow. It was a brutal battle that started off during the winter. And Hitler conquered. He went far and deep into the land of Russia. But as he went in and the full wrath of the winter struck, the Germans were completely unprepared for the winter. It was -29, -30 degrees there. and they weren't even equipped with good quality socks to handle the winter. There was one General Guderian's account that talks of how the Russian Siberian soldiers were so ready, and they came in infinite numbers from Stalingrad and Leningrad. The Germans were completely unready for this kind of a battle. Some truths we are there, that we fight and we're ready. Hitler had always determined that Russia was the place he wanted to go. He waited for a while, but when he took on the battle, that was his hardest one. He lost 1/3 of his army and subsequently lost the Great World War 3 years later. Had he, probably, I would say, had he postponed this or probably not had this ambition or this truth in the first place, the World War II might have had a very different direction. Thank you.
Good example to drive home the point. The next topic is, a bird in the hand is worth than two in the bush. A bird in the hand is worth than two in the bush. Goes to Toastmaster Sharanye.
Thank you, Table Topic Master. A very good evening to all the fellow Toastmasters and their esteemed guests present here. So it is not just a saying, but we actually have a theory in Masters what we have studied. And we had it in the subject called Principles of Management. So when they told it's nothing but having what you have is better than aiming to different two things. So this is what I implemented in my life. Than aiming at something which you can't or which will take some time, which is chartered accountancy, it's better to just stay here, just finish masters and then go back to chartered accountancy. So because when I started off with masters, it was only because of my father that I wanted to do masters, and it was not my personal thing that I wanted to do it. So when I started off, I thought I will do it together. I will do CA, I will do MBA, everything will be done together. But once I started with this course, that's when I realized it's not easy. It was not just like BCom that I could just choose evening college, I could cope up CA and I could do everything. It was a rigorous course where we had to stay in college for some time. And it was just my feeling that I had to enjoy my college life too. So with joining many other clubs, it was not easy for me to just go on with this course. So that is when I realized it is better to continue with masters than aiming at something which is together, which is to be done together. So this is my lesson. Thank you and back to you.
Experience expressed very well. The next topic is, when you take a high road, you will see things that some people can't. When you take the high road, you will see things that some people can't. Goes to DTM K Prabhakara.
Mr. Table Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. When you take a high road, it's what he is trying to say is high is, let's say, a flyover. Compared to something at a lower level of a road that is very full of jam. Flyover, less people take, because some people think that there's a lot of petrol that goes as fuel and it's wasted. So this is view from the top will be different. One other saying is more relevant here. Man at the top of the mountain knows how deep the valley is. My view of this situation may be at this level, but consider that a prime minister takes a view. Does he consider Toastmaster Club first, or country as a whole? Or globalized version is the whole planet as a whole when it comes to climate change. So the view, the position you take from where you see the problem really decides which way you will take a decision, which way things will change. The view from the micro level is different from view from macro level. So you have to are you taking the decision viewing from your own point of view,
or overall society, or in this case, let's say to the club, when it comes to club. So you have to always, there is a trade-off. Trade-off means there will be some advantage, disadvantage, that which gives you the highest advantage, not affecting everybody, not putting your foot on somebody else's foot. So these are the kind of things that you have to take in decisions. Though I would really say that whenever you take a decision or even talk, think from what perspective you are talking. Is it from your own point of view, or is it from the other side? Or seeking to understand first, than to be understood first. Seeking to understand the other person is the most important when you are talking even one-to-one, and let alone addressing a public speaking forum like this. Over to table topic, master.
Very well articulated, sir. The next topic is reputation is temporary, character is permanent. Reputation is temporary, character is permanent. Goes to Toastmaster Mohnish.
Thank you, table topic master. Very good evening to my fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Well, in business, I would say reputation is everything. And for a youngster, for wherever, I mean, he's a fresher or wherever he's working, all he can bank on is reputation. But what builds reputation is character, I feel, right? So we might have seen a lot of instances where the reputation might have been tarnished, but because of his strong character, end of the day, you see that what a man he is, it really comes out. So in the long run, building character, for example, what are we doing at Toastmasters? Learning communication. Why are we learning communication? It's part of building our character, right? And similarly, I agree with the table topic master that character is more important than, I would say, reputation is a byproduct of building a good character. So end of the day, I would be a little more spiritual and say, in this universe, being a better person for the people around you and helping the people around, I mean, that is a better result than saying that, oh, I'm very respected in society, right? So that is something that I would also want to work on. And with that, back to you.
Very well said. With this, I would like to conclude table topic session. To me, it is more of educative session rather than being a table topic master. I learned many things from all of you. Thank you very much for your views. With this, I would like to hand over back to MC of the day.
For that interesting topics and thought-provoking, speeches, let's give a big round of applause for the group. So we will now take 10 minutes break. Everyone said, thank you for coming back. So we'll begin our most important session, that is the general evaluation session. Okay, so to conduct this session, we have a very interesting Toastmaster. He's currently, pursuing his MBA. He has completed his BCom. As a hobbies, he has, sketching and photography. He's a brother for 2 lovely dogs. So I personally find him, he's a very natural, humorous speaker. No wonder he likes stand-up comedy, cricket and football. Please put your hands together and welcome Toastmaster Gaurav Badri.
Actually, when I sent him the introduction, I removed that line, that brother of two lovely dogs. My mother always tells me that she watches the meeting recording. She tells me, you're known for dogs, like, what are you doing? So I ensure I remove this line, still I don't know how we got that line. But yeah, I'm known for two dogs, yeah. So we started the meeting at 6:20 p.m., 5 minutes late, it's fine. We took some time to settle down. That's negligible, that's fine. And the business session, it was about the first information was regarding the newsletter. Congratulations to Toastmasters Sindhu and your team. And second is the VP role update for next week. So request members who are interested to take up the roles which is not yet been taken up till now. Next were the awards. Our club won Spirit of 121. Supreet and Sushma won long-lasting members. And Udanka won the outstanding award. So a huge round of applause for them. Coming to the Sergeant Arms, Toastmaster Latha. You spoke well, you have been speaking well week after week, but I'd like to give you few feedbacks where you can improve, you can make your speech even more better. Your energy, everything is good. You have that characteristic of a speaker is that you grab the attention of the speakers very well. But in between you kind of use notes. So I would recommend, you've been doing this for more than 4 months now. I recommend get rid of the notes. It's okay if you don't go script wise. Nobody knows the script what you're going to speak in. So if we can ignore the notes, just speak from what is from the bottom of the heart, and that way people will be more eager to listen to what you say and will be engraved in your speech even more better. If you use a script, people might lose attention because you lost the connection with the audience. But I like the way how you connected the theme with the president's introduction, and you have been introducing him for more than 4 months now. I could see that you have biated his introduction way better. You didn't use any notes when introducing him, but when speaking you used notes. So you did the introduction very well done, and week after week you've been introducing him in more unique ways than that monotonous manner. So I use a lot of applause to you. Coming to the president, I'm sure that I'm not supposed to evaluate him, but being the past president, I can give him few feedbacks as to what he can do better. First thing, you had the guest introduction, very well done. The moments of the minutes of the meeting, minutes of the meeting was read out well by Toastmaster Mehjabin. The same thing goes to Ujwal. Stop using notes. And when you're using it, please ensure you keep it on a lectern and not here, because in between you were looking here and people were wondering why are you looking here. Here people knew you had notes, but here people didn't know you had notes. They thought you were searching for something. So yeah, I would recommend, you have been doing this for more than 4 months again. Now, by this time, most of the past presidents, I'm not comparing you to any past president, but by this time you should be used to the fact that you come behind the lectern and speak without using a script. Few teams may be challenging. Maybe I believe you only write down the entire script. So if you're writing down the entire script, I believe should be registered in your mind well in advance. So I challenge you from next week onwards, try avoiding the script and just go with the flow. It's okay if you mess it up in between. It's okay because nobody knows what you're going to talk. But nicely introduce the MC of the day, connecting to the theme as well. So MC will be coming at the end. I'll be calling the individual evaluators. Speaker 1 was Toastmaster Vaishnavi, attempting level 1 project 1, the icebreaker. So I request Toastmaster Raja for evaluating.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. First of all, the speech was very engaging. I really liked how you have constructed the speech, and this will go a long way as a public speaker for you. And your speech was humorous and light. You did not make it boring in any way. It was very humorous, and you made it on a lighter note, so that was great as well. And for your first speech, your body language was good. This is something you can keep developing as you're giving more speeches. So there is something, it is already there for you, in terms of body language. and you use the word of the day. That is great as well. And you have a lot of things that are playing in your favor in terms of public speaking. The first one is you are a content writer. So there won't be any, you'll always find content. That is one thing. Second one, your voice. When you started singing, people are like, wow. You can use that voice to use the modulation, right? You can go high, you can go down. So that was great. And the next one was obviously your body language, your humor sense. That was also very good. So these are the things that you can work more and you can build upon that. So as a very first speech, you have achieved all the criteria and you have successfully completed your first speech. So a round of applause to her. Now, in terms of the areas that you can improve upon, so in Toastmasters there are a lot of techniques, right? So that is something that you need to develop. One is your body language is great, but you need to step back a little bit and use more of the body language, right? You said national anthem, singing loudly, or so you can use those body language and also voice modulations. So that is also a part of a technique in Toastmasters. And dramatization. Right? You can, when you're adding characters, you can add dramatization. And another important thing is pausing during the punchlines. This is something that will take time. You had a lot of jokes. You need to land those jokes with them. For example, apart from number crunching, I also sometimes get existential crisis that hit my face. Something like that. And then you pause, right? Or you say, picture this. My mom is singing Suprabhatam, and that is better than any other alarm. You can say like that, right? So those kind of dramatization, and you pause during the punchlines as well. And the last one is speaking without the notes. So the first time you spoke with notes, and moving forward, you can think about how you can speak without the notes. But other than that, it's a fantastic speech for your icebreaker speech, and all the best to your future speeches.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raja. The second speaker for today was Toastmaster Nagendra. I request the individual evaluator, Toastmaster Jyothi, for an evaluation.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. And congratulations to Toastmaster Nagendra for completing your icebreaker speech. The evaluation of your speech will be I would say there was clarity in your speech, the way you spoke, the way you delivered the speech, your words, your sentences, the energy level was very good. You spoke about the requirements for icebreakers, family, interest and purpose of joining Toastmaster. You fulfilled all of them. You spoke of your parents and also other members of your family, so we could come to know more about you. You spoke about your school and college, the names of them, so that was also made us know you much better. What I saw is the interest, like what I gathered was your interest is on what you have attended in your college, forums and clubs. But apart from that, I'm not able to recollect if you had spoken about any of your interest, which makes a lot of difference to know about a person, and that would be that would add on to your introduction of yourself to speak about your interest. As our ice-breaking speech, you have done remarkably very well. What you may work on is the purpose. You also spoke about the purpose of the joining the Toastmasters is to make sure the audience grasps your presentation, and I really love the genuinity in which you spoke about yourself. So in a Toastmaster, there is something as opening body and conclusion. So your opening was good. your body was also like you had matters to talk about yourself. What was not in place was the conclusion. So you could, like for example, you could close, the closure could be connecting. You started with the day I was born was with the Diwali festival, and you could close coming out with your interest, like what you said. My purpose of joining Toastmasters is, to make that firelight which would catch attention of all the audience. So it would be that the day you were born, that is what is going to be your purpose of joining Toastmasters and putting it across to the audience. But all in all, your zeal was remarkable and your eye contact with the audience was very good. At no point of time, you looked down or lost. And if you work on your opening body and conclusion, I'm sure you will deliver much more interesting speeches with confidence as what you have. And with that, back to the general gallery.
I believe the samosa was very yummy and it was energizing. And next time, please give a huge round of applause. So, coming to Jyothi, Toastmaster Jyothi, I like the way our evaluation. The icebreaker, it's known for opening body and conclusion. I like how we stuck to that and gave him feedback accordingly to that. And I like the way I had more positives than few things where he can work upon. So, wonderfully job done. And coming to the first evaluator, Toastmaster Raja, she had very good feedback and a lot of things where she can improve on. But as it's her first time coming in the lecture and giving the first speech, maybe could have given more positives than giving more of feedback where she can work upon. And Toastmaster Vaishnavi, I know it's the first time, it's okay, you can take it slow. Everything doesn't come overnight. So just take it slowly and give your best speech after speech. So huge round of applause to all the speakers and the evaluators. I did this too because they are the same level and project. Now coming to the third speaker was Toastmaster Apoorva, and I like to invite the individual evaluator Toastmaster Ravikumar.
Good evening, Toastmasters and fellow Toastmasters and guests of this evening. Speaker Apoorva, speech title Design Your Passion. I liked it because you are in the business of designing and it requires passion, and you have titled it saying that design your passion. That's nice. I will evaluate your speech into 3 categories you excelled at and you may want to work on and to challenge yourself in future. Now, you excelled at is there was a zeal was noticed. Your preparation and your taking the seat. In fact, I should admire that you took the better seat for an interview than the interviewer had to take humorous, but well, seated well, and importantly, as far as your speech was concerned, the interview session that you have planned, you assessed fairly and it was non-judgmental. That was important and that has to be noticed in your interview and interviewers. You shared your personal strength and plans for developing with the interviewer. The questions was designed and you had responses for that kind of a thing. You did not go overboard as far as the interview and interviewer is concerned. You answered specifically and you did not go out of the way or you tried to impress or it was good and very nice. The best qualities of the interview, as far as the interview is concerned, as for clarity, yes, and eye contacts, yes, it was there. That is in that perspective I am looking into these aspects, and gestures during the interview it was there, okay, and it was noticeable. You may work on everything was fine as far as the good things that I spoke. you could have been louder. Okay. I could see people had to stretch their ears to hear you. Forget listening later. Okay. So that you can, you have a good voice. I've seen that in other speeches and when you are a sergeant at arms and things like that. So that is one thing. Perhaps I felt that some more practice for today's, your assignment could have been, you would have done much better than what you did. Okay. You have that strength and you could have. One more thing that you could have done today is, the project expects you to discuss about the designs, subject, tasks to execute, the challenges of the future in your line that you could have. To challenge yourself, go ahead, much more zeal in your future endeavors and speeches. Speak with your mentor to take it forward. Thank you very much. And
Thank you, Toastmaster Ravikumar. So before I go to the table topic master, I took all the TAPG roll takers to give you reports. Firstly, the timer Toastmaster Pablo.
Once again, a very good evening fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. The meeting commenced at 6:20 p.m. The business session went on for 1 minute 30 seconds, but the time allotted was 3 minutes. The Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Latha took 2 minutes 37 seconds, but the time allotted was 2 minutes. The introduction of President went on for 35 seconds and the time allotted was 1 minute. The introduction of guests went on for 53 seconds and the time allotted was 1 minute. The report of minutes of meeting by Toastmaster Mehjabin went on for 2 minutes 28 seconds, but the time allotted was 2 minutes. Presidential address was allotted 5 minutes and Toastmaster Ujwal has taken 4 minutes 40 seconds. Introduction of Toastmaster of the Day was allotted 1 minute and was taken 54 seconds. Coming to the Master of Ceremonies, Toastmaster Prashanth, for the introduction of the theme and for the history of Toastmasters, he has taken 2 minutes 20 seconds and the allotted time for the same is 2 minutes. Overall, the MC has taken 8 minutes 15 seconds and the allotted time is 10 minutes. Coming to the prepared speech session, Speaker 1 Toastmaster Vaishnavi has taken 3 minutes 55 seconds. Speaker 2 Toastmaster Nagendra has taken 4 minutes 13 seconds. Speaker 3 Toastmaster Apoorva has taken 7 minutes 17 seconds. The table topic session went on for 23 minutes overall, but the time allotted was 20 minutes. We had 9 speakers in total, where none spoke below 1 minute, 5 spoke above 1 minute, and 4 spoke about 2 minutes. The individual report has been put up on the board. The networking break went on for 11 minutes 45 seconds. Lastly, coming to the individual evaluators, they were allotted 3 minutes. Evaluator 1 Toastmaster Raja has taken 3 minutes 7 seconds. Evaluator 2 Toastmaster Jyothi has taken 3 minutes 14 seconds. Evaluator 3 Toastmaster Ravikumar has taken 3 minutes 22 seconds. The general evaluation session was allotted 30 minutes overall, and as of now, Toastmaster Gaurav has taken around 6 minutes. So, yeah, that's it from my end. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Swami. Coming to the R counter, I request Toastmaster Akshay to give his report.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. So the R counter report of today's meeting is like this. Sergeant at Arms Latha used 2 hours. President Ujwal used 4 hours. Toastmaster of the Day Prashanth used 6 hours. Timer Pawan used 1 hour. Accountant Akshay, myself used 1 hour. Grammarian Anirudh used 1 hour. PP Evaluator Subha used 1 hour. And prepared speech Speaker 1 Vaishnavi was flawless. Her Evaluator Raja used 7 hours. Speaker 2 Nagendra used 3 ums. His Evaluator Jyothi used 2 hours and 1 repeated word I. Speaker 3 Apoorva used 10 hours. Her Evaluator Ravikumar used 2 hours. Table Topics Master Vijay was flawless. Speaker 1 Shreya used 2 hours. Speaker 2 Arundas took 1 pass. Speaker 3 Veerabhadrappa was flawless. Speaker 4 U Bhat was flawless. Speaker 5 Udanka was flawless. Speaker 6 Chetan was flawless. Speaker 7 Sharanye used 4 hours. Speaker 8 K Prabhakara sir was flawless. Speaker 9 Mohnish used 1 hour. General Evaluator Gaurav has used 2 hours. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Akshay. I call the grammarian Toastmaster Anirudh.
Good evening, everyone. This is the grammarian report for the evening. We had a lot of good usages today. Some of them include the phrase arguments reaching boiling point, stuck at crossroads, today's rival can be tomorrow's ally, quintessential South Indian alarm clock, kid in a candy store, vocal acrobatics, the pen is mightier than the sword, wrath of the winter. And some not so good usages include has a little short temper could have been has a short temper, and homemaker should have been a homemaker. What are you looking forward should be what are you looking forward to. And dengue pronunciation is actually dengue. And believe and belief, the distinction is that believe is a verb and belief is the noun form. So when you use believe, you say I believe, and when you say belief, you say I have a sense of belief or something on those lines. So that was one improvement. And the word of the day, the number of times it was used was 7 times by Toastmaster Latha, Toastmaster Prashanth, Toastmaster Vaishnavi, Toastmaster Nagendra, Toastmaster Apoorva, and Toastmaster Ravikumar. I'm sorry if I missed out anyone else. That was the report from my side. Thank you and bye.
Next, I like to call the parliamentary producer Evaluator Toastmaster Shubha.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests present. So, today was a very thought-provoking session, but there were 3 instances that interrupted the speakers. One was a ping of a phone, one was an entry after the applause had ended, and one was a crosstalk. Even a single pin drop can derail the train of thought of a nervous speaker. So request you to keep that in mind and avoid crosstalks and enter and exit only during applause. And once the applause is done, you should be out of the room by then or inside. That's it for the report for today. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shubha. A huge round of applause to all the TAPG role takers. You can see that they have been coming week after week, taking up different roles. I like to see many of you give more speeches as well. And one tip to Toastmaster Akshay, please speak a little louder. I saw a lot of words, you swallowed it. So it's okay. Take your time, get comfortable, and from next time onwards try to speak a little louder. Apart from that, everybody did a great job. Coming to the table topic master, Toastmaster Vijay. After a long time, I enjoyed table topic session. I love the topics that you had. I could see that we are putting a lot of thought in bringing up this topic. It was not something you Googled and you just copy pasted. I could see that you put in a lot of thought, and the topics you gave were somewhat related to the speakers. So you put in a lot of thought in picking the right topic for the right speaker, and each topic which you gave to each speaker, everyone who came behind the lectern, they took few minutes to think about the topic. They used their brains more actively, and that's how a table topic should be according to me. So I like the fact you did it like a textbook way. We didn't waste much of your time talking more about the theme or any of such. We just stick to the theme and topics and the speaker. I'd like to give 2 advice where you can improve on. One thing, starting you just told your topic master, you just continue. Maybe you could have given like 2 minutes of introduction as to what is table topic like this, because there have been many guests present here today. Apart from that, after the speaker gives it back to you and there is a round of applause, wait for 2 minutes so that everybody stops. You started talking in between and we couldn't hear in between because of the applause. That's the only tip I have. Apart from that, a very good job done. A huge round of applause for it. Coming to the Master of Ceremonies, the Master of the Day, Toastmaster Prashanth. I like the fact how you opened the session with a joke. I always believe a joke as an introduction, as an opening, will always grab audience attention. And from then, you were phenomenal. You dressed professionally for the session. You have blessed with a very good loud voice. So people always listen to you and they won't lose the attention that you have. And you connected the theme with the Toastmasters international introduction. Very well done. And I like the fact that you didn't introduce the icebreakers speakers and gave them the opportunity to introduce. Lately, I've been seeing many MCs have been introducing the icebreaker speakers, and they have that's not the right way to do because they are introducing themselves. And I loved the fact that you didn't use notes, even though you used little. I mean, it was very minimal. But I like the fact that when you were introducing everybody, all the speakers behind the lectern, you didn't use notes at all. You just introduced the way maybe how you remember the introduction. So a very good job done, and I look forward to see you more in the meetings and give more speeches in future. A huge round of applause to him. I request everyone that ballot is live and everyone can please put your valuable votes. I believe I covered everybody. I like to keep it short and crisp and not take much time. With that, thank you and did I forget anyone? Thank you and back to the master.
It was a clinical general evaluation session. So before I would like to give a feedback on the overall meeting experience, I'd like to share about the new executive, the current executive committee. I think I've seen that overall they've broken many silos to give bring in a lot of positive change, I would say. It can be like having all the introduction in one single document. It was very handy, and the VP was very proactive in giving me the finer details. And of course, like our general evaluator also was raising that avoiding introduction of icebreakers, things like that. I think many silos are broken to bring in paradigm change in the overall experience in the communication club. So that's my take. And coming to the meeting, it was a very interesting session, interesting speech session, stable topics session, and a very detailed general evaluation. So overall, it was a very interesting meeting. With that, I would like to hand over it to the president.
We had a very great evening, and every time this person is behind the lectern, he comes up with very insightful theme for us, and it was very much great. And also we had a very insightful table topic session with the detailed JE report. With this, let's quickly announce the winners for the week. Let me start off with the best role taker, MTG. It goes to the person who had insightful table topics. Toastmaster Vijay. The best role taker, TAPG. It goes to our grammarian Toastmaster Anirudh. The best table topic speaker. It goes to DTM U Bhat. Moving on to the best evaluator, it goes to Toastmaster Raja. Last but not the least, the best prepared speaker, it goes to Toastmaster Vaishnavi. That's it from my end. With this, I close. Yeah, so as and when the meeting gets over, I request each and everyone to go downstairs, and then there we can have the networking time. With this, I close meeting number 1263. Let's raise up for the national.